So this is a gameplay commentary with Baal, with a basic and an elite build. Um, Nothing spec'd into the lower part of the skill tree. Right now you see me trying to flip a car poorly. It actually comes back to bite me in the ass later because even though it's on its side, it's not destroyed. So it's always good to like listen to the noise of the car breaking. I knew it wasn't broken, but I was just like, I see them over there. They already have 2 map pieces. I need to start putting pressure. Usually, I'm not really worried about putting pressure early on if they have a Hunter Ash. I'm more like setting up. That's the kind of demon play I like to do. It's like I like to set up. You know, I know that's like that. You're not going to get a lot of wins doing that, but it just feels more like a chess match. You know, Schemer, right? He's a chess master. So I want to put the Ruby in a place where she's guaranteed to run into a trap, and I don't have a cooldown reduction on my ability, so I'm just trying to level up here. I don't care about getting downs right now. They have a really good team comp. Very high prestige, very good players. This Hunter Ash, he loves to drop his weapon, and I punish the hell out of him for every chance I get. Right there, I'm just testing my new build to see if I could throw him into a trap and him still be max fuel. So he's not. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I learned from my mistake here. And I see the Ruby's like being low health, but Ruby and I'm really worried about it. I don't make it to this chest in time, but the Hunter Ash is cautious, which is good. And you can tell by his playstyle, he's very cautious. Making sure he gets the ammo, and I take anything from him. See, he doesn't even have his gun on him, because he knows that he's close to fear. So then, I punch him. Once again, I throw him into this little pit. This pit is amazing for both. They have to get out this one way. I don't have a front range, so I want to stay in here and use my ability. Instead, I don't have extension on it either, so that's fine. And like I said, I am punishing him. He doesn't have a gun. He's trying to get out of there. Now the team does a really good thing where you know I'm probably trapping him out. And so they decided to put pressure on me and force me to go to the point. Now I see them at the bottom of the map and the top of the map. So I feel that, so once again, they're putting pressure on me on what I have to decide to go for. Ruby is very hard to peer out, and even if I do possess her, I'm not going to get value with her because I can't possess her for that long, especially with Baal because of his infernal energy. I say that, but it's because I mostly play like Plague. Plague was like the demon I P5'd first. I'm not putting any prestige points into my demons because I feel like to learn the demon you really need to play those levels, those prestige levels, and see how that extra point actually helps you. So you're not just, oh, use all my spirit points on the demon and then not know how to play correctly. I see there's a car nearby, so I want to get rid of it as soon as possible. I see that they haven't started pages yet. Like, what they should have done is they started pages and dagger at the same time. Because they probably knew that I was camping the body on their Ash, and they started at the same time. I would have had to make a choice, but here I didn't have to make a choice. They do have a fire here, but I make it so they regret it. And she doesn't realize that. She's like, oh, I'm here. I missed a scare here. That's fine. Because she starts running to the fire eventually. After the tree. She's like, okay, I gotta get the fire. But her fear isn't high. So then she gets her fear high because of it. And that's when I possess her. As you can see, My front end is drained super fast because of their abilities and their skill tree.
This body ain't big enough for the
So I didn't want to possess her until the point was fully done, so I can get some of the energy here. And then place the trap on the stairs. She knew there was a trap. And then I just get her low health. But she has an ability where as she goes below 50%, she starts regaining health based on her ability. So now, this is where the team should have kept forcing this dagger, right? To get the res on the Hunter Ash. Because I would have been forced to use all my energy to try and down this Ruby, or go to the other point and down the other two, which they have a Cheryl and a Hunter Ash. Lots of healing. Hunter Ash can heal himself with his ability. Cheryl can carry 8 chimps. So, what their team should have done is restart Dagger here. Because I'm in between going points. And by the time I get to pages here, they might finish. They're almost halfway through. Baal has no ability to increase the timer on point in his skill tree, so luckily this point is very good for Baal. Any point here in Terminal Station is very good. And you're going to see what I do. They're very confident because they're standing by the lights, but I'm getting Infernal Energy, so I'm just setting a bunch of traps in this one area. I see that they should have been both standing in this light. So I grab her, I dodge just to try and not lose Infernal Energy with her, and put her in this position where she can escape. She doesn't finish her perfectly when I'm doing my abilities. She's trying to dodge her way out, but I hit her back. She's just panicking. And what you want to do is never panic as a survivor, because it'll be your downfall. Like, it's better just to take a hit than dodge twice and waste it. Here, I'm trying to just hit him into a trap, because they're almost finished with this point. I know he wants to go back for the light. This is why survivors should play Demon, just so they know exactly where all the traps are. So I put him here, and then I put him in the same position. Except this time, I'm going to grab the basic. So I use my Fury, and I just do heavies here, because he can't move. The survivor's greatest strength is not their damage, not their abilities, it's their dodges. If you take that away from the survivor, is how you win games at a high level, in my opinion. That's why the elites for Plague are good. Not because they do a lot of damage, it's because when they die, they prevent survivors from dodging. So if you have a bunch of elites on a point, and they all die, the survivors can't dodge your basics or your boss attacks. And those are the only times they really become viable. At least boss, right now. So, like I said, what this person should have done was actually go finish the dagger. Because they would have got the revive and the teammates would have been revived together, and then they could have got their supplies off of the pages. Now you'll see right there that me not completely flipping that car made them get this res. Usually I don't flip cars unless they have a certain team. The team is Ruby, and I do it even like I won't even second question it when they have a Hunter Ash and a Ruby, just because he could his ability back faster. Now this is kind of a problem here Well, I fuck up here. Really bad. I use my ability and then I hit the car, so I can't set off that trap and trap the ruby in there. So I just decide to flip the car here. And you'll see how almost flipping the cars kind of screws me. Right? I thought I had this car perfectly on the tree here, but I don't. I know she wants to get to her point as soon as possible here. I don't use my ability because she has 4 dodges. She gets in the car and I'm like, oh, this is a down. And she's like, oh, look, she flipped the car. And of course that branch is in my way, so she ends up getting away. Now, I have 2 choices. Go for the Hunter Ash who has his ability, or go for the Ruby who has 4 dodges and is pretty hard to kill. Now, I think priority-wise, she's more important. I get the car here, and I want to like get it far away. I see that she's going for the rest, so I have to drop the car. I don't have time to flip it. So I use my scare because there's a fire source, those candles, and I don't have a unit here. And since she didn't send off that trap, I have to go for pages again. They have a car there, so they can get back to Paige as soon as possible. But I see that the Hunter Ash is max spear, so I want to put him in a situation where he's useless. And you can see him dropping his gun here, and right there. Oh, he still has his gun. Okay, so I put him in this situation where his dodges are useless. This Hunter Dash adapts very well. So he gets out. And you notice that the Hunter Ash will eventually put himself in a position when he sets up the trap and is able to escape to the right or left. Drops his weapon there. It's obvious. I don't want him to start the point. They have 13 minutes here. You always want to position your units between you, the survivor, and then a trap behind them. So when they dodge backwards, they dodge into the trap. Good survivors dodge forward. Now here I'm just trying to prolong this res. I know he's going to use this ability as soon as he gets up, so I drop that position as quick as possible. And he doesn't get me. Look, unfortunately that camera angle kind of screwed me. I'm gonna rest him here. Once again, they're still taking their time to start the objective.
Pages of human flesh have been found by the mortals.
I just want to put proxy traps here. Actually, I'm summoning all these units so I can possess her, but I'm actually getting in front of the units. So I can put her in a position where she can't dodge. She dodges into the trap. That's good. I accidentally grab her. And like I said, she's trying to dodge here. Finally grabbed the right unit. But they're already out. And you see how they work. This is very good teamwork here. Where they start helping each other when they're in a trap area. Hunter Ash is dropping his gun. He doesn't want to get possessed. There is a way I could kind of grab him here. I want to punish him for dropping his gun, right? So I put him in this position again. But they set up the trap, right? So I'm like, okay, let me put my proxy portals here. Because they probably think, oh, the trap is gone. But now the Hunter Ash is watching and trying to set up the trap here. They're knocking me out of position. They know what they want me to do. And now they're staying by the light because they've gotten to a position where they're fine and they can knock each other out. I get her, but I didn't put a trap. So So I try to place the trap as quick as possible. She sets it off, but like I said, they're playing some very good teamwork here. The only time they don't really have good teamwork is when they're not doing the objective here on Pages and Daggers. Because they feel they do have a superiority complex, I guess. Because they feel like, oh, as you see, the hunter has set off the trap, so then my trap went to the right instead of straight on.
Whatever you're doing,
So he was able to get past to the right. So that's how he adapted. So you don't necessarily need a teammate. And as soon as you set off that first trap, it takes a while to reset. So that's why you want to set off a certain way and then go to the other direction and escape. So this is not a, perfect strategy on Down to Survivors. There are strategies to go around it, so I don't think it necessarily needs to get nerfed. But at the same time, because good survivors, like I said in the beginning of the video, like good survivors will just dodge. They won't deal with the demon at all. She starts running away, and I'm like chasing her, and I'm like, oh, if I possess her now, I can't put her in a position where she can't dodge. And right here, there's an opening onto the right there, so I dodge because I'm waiting for the shots, and I did get shot here, but I have enough infernal energy to put her in this situation. Now this one is kind of hard to get out of, even at an angle, because of those barrels, and I can knock her further back into it. She's trying to dodge forward here, so you kind of gotta go head on to this, or you have to have no survivors set up the trap so you can escape. Now I missed time to swing here, but I hit that swing. He's being smart. The hunter ass should have came in help. And because of that, it becomes their downfall. Like I said, this is where they get cocky. Because they keep facing me 1v1. Right, that was a 2v1 situation. But honestly, like, that warrior ash is far enough away where I'm confident if I did possess him and put him in this situation, I would be fine. But I truly want the hunter ash. And the reason I want the hunter ash so badly is because he has the depossession of it. So if I did possess the warrior ash, so you see him drop his gun there, that's fine. And he's trying to make me possess him, but I don't care. Like, I have the high ground, so to say. Like, they have to go get that soul. If they were smart, they would try and get it from the side, not head on here. So now he picks up his gun. They're forced to deal with this elite. Now, they do have the damage, even without the ruby. Like, if the ruby was here, I would have been dead, and he wouldn't have been so low. And now the hunter ash drops his weapon. Why? He doesn't want to get possessed and kill his teammate. But now he's in a situation where he needs his gun. And he's just like panicking, like, oh shit, I can't get my gun because the units are here.
Run as fast as you can.
So this whole thing could have been avoided if he just kept his gun. And if his teammate had a pistol or something to knock him out of it. But they're like, the ruby is doing the point. I see that the ruby's doing the point, but I'm not worried about it. I'm at a high enough level, I know I could peer out the ruby. So these people are more important. Because if I let them go, they're going to be getting their shemps that they're losing here. They're going to get their amulets. They're going to get their ammo. Right? It's better to down them so they lose all their supplies here. Now he doesn't want to set up the trap here, but I force him to by possessing this basic. He does a finisher. That's fine. I'm just going to keep swinging. I don't care about your dodges. So he goes down. Now she's in a situation where she's trapped again. Because they're not sticking together. See how she's just dodging? She's like, oh, I'm trying to get out of here. She drinks her ships, kind of just accepting her fate. Now, it's past 50% on the other point. So I need to rush there. I don't have the ability where I can place a basic and increase my speed like this. So I have to find traps along the way. And this is why I don't normally like to set traps randomly. Because there'll be a time like this where like, hey, there's a tree possession right here. Let me set this trap and speed forward. Slingshot off of it. I look at it like, think to myself like, come on, set the trap. Now they have 4 minutes. I don't have to down the ruby at this point. I just have to possess her off point, and I win this. And having that thought in my head, I know she's trying to stand by another plane. I just have to get her away from it. And I have enough, I'm at a high enough level where I know I can do this. And she's like, okay, he's here, let me start the fire. She dodges forward. You don't need to be like right on the flame for it to work. So I had no idea why she dodged forward. And this is just me DMing her because now I know I won the game. Like, she just keeps making this mistake where she thinks she needs to be hugging that flame. You only need to be a certain amount of distance. And now that I know I won, I'm just like, yeah, let me just be in there. You know, I don't want her to drive away. Because I thought she knew, like, oh, she didn't have enough time. This is, well, just be Now fear is going down because of the blink. She able to get the flame, but then the tree gets her. So I depossess here. And then it sits off again, and I possess her.
Pathetic! Mortality has gotten the best of you.
And this is the ultimate kind of like DM moment where I literally stand in front of her. And she's panicking, trying to hit me here. Realizes sometimes she misses when she swings, so she starts shooting me. Now the point's down, she's got to restart it. And she's trying so hard to get past me. But she can't. And I know this is very toxic, but they were a very good team, so I was kind of proud of myself that I was knew I was gonna win. And I was just like, for me, it doesn't matter like how you win. It's, you know, it's just if you win. And then I started thinking to myself, well, you know what? I didn't down this ruby at all during the game. She's probably thinking to herself like, wow, this demon sucks dick. Couldn't down me this whole game. See, she just keeps going for that flame. Like, there's no reason for that. Once again, I make her restart the point. She should know, as Ruby, if you start the point, your fear doesn't go up, it actually goes down. So there's no reason to go for the tree. You should move in a way where you set off the traps, the proxy traps that I'm placing, but not enough where you get max fear. But she keeps going for that 5. And I just look at her like, hey, you're not gonna like that. And I just do my ability, and she's like, oh, I'll dodge it, that's fine. I need to start the point.
The humans have located the Kandarian.
And once again, she goes for this flame.
Stop them before they take it.
I'm like, no, you're not lighting it. I see her fear's already going down. Like, if anything, I was helping her. Like, All she had to do was start the point. She doesn't have to worry about the flame. She should already know this tree is successful. And she does, so she's staying away from it. I have 20 seconds for this down. So I'm like, okay, let me possess this basic. Make him... Yeah, exactly. Dodge into the trap so then she's stuck in an animation. The trap is going off. And be able to get these hits. So yeah, the best way with Baal is just to ping Baal survivors and make sure they don't dodge. Thanks for watching the video.